Yes. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys, we're back. We're back. If it kicks out again, I don't know what we'll do. Yeah. Okay, guys, we're back to the Tanya, chapter 32. So the idea we spoke about, one second, we're starting the class now. It's definitely time to start the class now because it's already late. So what we spoke up till now is the idea of not viewing our physical body as the most important thing, as the prime thing. Or to say the same thing in other words, rather than viewing ourselves as physical beings, which we are, but rather than viewing ourselves that way, we can view ourselves as spiritual beings. And we said in the earlier chapters that we did in the class 1 and class 2, that if a person views themselves first and foremost as a physical being, which is not wrong, it's accurate, it's more a question of viewpoint, of perspective. If we view ourselves as all about the material, all about the physical, then we're never really going to be happy. We're never going to be truly happy. Why not? Because when it comes down to it, the bottom line is that I don't control really pretty much anything. If a person, for example, is really into healthy eating and taking care of their health, and they exercise every day, and they eat super healthy and all that stuff, is that a guarantee that they won't get ill? Not at all. Who knows what's going to happen? Even if you stack all the cards in the right, and I'm not saying you shouldn't take care of your health. Like I was speaking to someone the other day, talking about how he drinks and smokes. And I was like, maybe you want to cut back a little bit on the drinking and the smoking. It's not good for your health. Oh yeah, my doctor said that. Right. But nevertheless, even if a person does take care of their health, exercise, good sleep, whatever it may be, it's not a guarantee. You don't really control your health or whatever else a person wants in their life. Let's say a person is very into wealth. They want to be a rich person. Maybe they want to do it even for good reasons, not just because they want to drive a fancy car, but because they want to be able to give a lot of charity. They want to be a philanthropist. Do you control your bank account? Some people think they do, but at the end of the day, we've seen many times through history, people who put all their cards into making money, that's the most critical thing for them. The market turns, they make a bad investment, whatever it may be, boom, they lose it all. They went from the top, the wheel of fortune comes around, and now they're all the way at the bottom. In fact, the story is told that one time, the fifth Rebbe of Chabad, Rabbi Shalom Dober Schneerson, was in Vienna, and he saw a Ferris wheel. I was there in Vienna in 2017. I saw the same Ferris wheel. And as he went by the Ferris wheel, he remarked, it's amazing. The people at the top don't realize, they're not cognizant of the fact that they're about to come down all the way to the bottom. And the people at the bottom don't realize, they think they're at the bottom. They don't realize their wheel of fortune is about to turn and they're going to come all the way back up to the top. So too, with wealth, a person may put everything, invest everything emotionally, intellectually, physically, all their money with the best investments, and boom, one bad investment turns everything upside down. The wheel of fortune is upside down, and you lose everything, God forbid. So we don't control our physical lives. We don't control our physical possessions. You never know. Even something that's a little bit less physical. For example, let's say some people, they want to be respected. They want to feel that people respect me. You control that? Maybe you could do things to be respected. You can do things to be a respectful person or a kavod, to get honor and so forth. But who says that it's actually going to work out in your favor? You don't know. So really very few things in our life do we actually control. So if we make our lives about our physical life, our physical well-being, our physical possessions, our physical accomplishments, right? I want to be the valedictorian. Oh, maybe you won't. Maybe there's someone smarter than you. I want to be whatever it may be, whatever accomplishments. If we make our life focused on the material, on the physical, we'll never really be happy. Because even if we're achieving, we're always going to want more. And even when we get more, who knows if we're going to keep that? Who knows if it's going to last? However, if the author postulates, if we make our life about the spirit, about our neshama, about our soul, then guess what? I could be happy. Why? Because my spiritual connection with God, I do control. I am in control. A person can at any moment in time, no matter what they've done or what they have not done, at any moment they can be connected to Hashem. In fact, you already are. Everybody already is connected to God. We can at any moment choose to strengthen and drill down on that connection. All it takes is your decision in your heart and your mind. You don't need to be an elevated spiritual person. You don't need any special talents or abilities. You want to connect to Hashem, you want to connect to God, you can do it in any place and at any time. And as a powerful lesson for that, I think, I'm sure everybody was excited last day of Tanya Rabbah when the hostages were released. These were so-called non-religious people. That's what everybody told me. They told me they were not religious. I'm not sure what makes them not religious exactly. You saw some of those videos? Some of the videos of these people that were subjected to 2 years to the day, 2 years of pain, of suffering, of starvation. This is no exaggeration, right? Literally starvation. You ever starved? You ever had nothing to eat? I don't think any of us have ever been in that. They literally starved, beaten. We don't need to, I think everybody here knows already, right? They could have come out and saying, I hate God, I hate you, I hate everything, I hate life. But they came out, so multiple videos. This is where I found a connection to God. This is where I prayed every day. Who would have suspected such a thing? So you could have nothing. When you strip away all the layers, take away all the material, no car, no phone, no food, pain, suffering, physical abuse, emotional abuse, and so on and so forth. What are you left with? You're left with the core of all these people that they revealed to us, that they showed us, was expressed as, I want to connect to God. I want to pray. And that's what they did. In captivity, in the tunnels of Gaza, quite literally. So that just really demonstrates to us in a very tangible way that while I don't control my physical life, why were they taken hostage? It could have been me. If I was there, it would have been me. No, it was them. For whatever reason, they were in those places at that time and they were taken hostage. It could have been me. Could have been you. Could have been any of us. So they demonstrated for all of us what happens when you strip away the materiality. What happens when you take away everything? What are you left with? The neshama. You're left with the soul, which cries out to Hashem in prayer, in connection. And that's the core of who we are. That's the core of our people. I think that's the powerful lesson that was demonstrated, that was revealed to us by the hostages. I can't suggest that I know why these things happen, but I might perhaps say that one way to think about it is that they did it for us. They did it not willingly, but to show us what it means to pray. One of the videos that went around, maybe you saw it. I forget the name of the person. He said, I was thinking to myself in the tunnels of Gaza, in the dungeons of Gaza, how come when people pray to God, they always ask God for what they want? Give me, give me, give me. This is what I need, this is what I want. It's normal, right? We all do that. We say, hey, I need this, I need it. Can you help me do well on the test? Can you help me this? Can this person notice me? Can this thing go well? Can I, whatever it may be. So I saw the video, said, how come no one ever asks God what he wants? So he said, every day I started praying to God every night, in the dungeons, the tunnels deep beneath the surface in Gaza. I said, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, how do you feel today? Did you ever ask God, how do you feel today? It's unbelievable. You strip away the layers of materiality and you're left with the spirit. You're left with the neshama, you're left with the soul. And that's the way to be truly happy. Is that we on our own can, so to speak, strip away the layers of materiality. It's like you buy, for some reason, I don't know why it is this way. I don't have the subscriptions to any of these Jewish magazines. You get one of these Jewish magazines, the last one I saw, you open it, it's 50% advertisements for food. And the other 50% is advertisements for luxurious vacations. Now, nothing wrong with any of those things. Hey, I like good food as much as the next guy. I wouldn't mind a luxurious vacation as much as the nice guy. But like, that's our life. That's what we're about. That's what our people came to this world for, to take a luxurious, glatt, kosher vacation. Nothing wrong with it. But that's who we are. That's our purpose. That's why I was born, to have a luxurious vacation and eat a delicious steak and drink some really good scotch. I don't mind. But like, that's what I'm here for. That's the purpose of the creation. That's why God created the world, so I should enjoy steak and scotch. It doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. So when I can strip away those layers within myself and recognize it's not about the scotch, it's not about the steak, it's not about the luxurious vacations, even though all those things may be wonderful and great and do it with your family and it can be wonderful. But that's not what life is about. That's how I can actually become a happy person. I could literally become besimcha, joyous, if I can just strip away the layers. Now, chapter 32, the heart of Tanya is going to take this idea that we're discussing now and take it one step further. And is going to suggest that this very same attitude of viewing myself as a spiritual person, not as a physical person. And that doesn't mean to be an ascetic and not eat and skip meals. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about being normal, eating 3 meals a day, taking care of your health, getting proper sleep. That's the hardest one for me. I don't sleep enough. But and many of us don't, I think. But if I can view myself as spiritual, as a human, but a human with a soul, with an neshama, then not only will I be happy, but I'll also be able to fall in love with everybody. I'll also be able to love another person sincerely, real, deep, and profound love. And if not, I won't be able to really ever truly experience love. I don't even mean romantic love, although that too. Romantic love or any type of love for another human being, if I'm always viewing them as a person, as a physical person. I'll never really be able to love them. It'll always be about something else, how they look, how they make me feel, what they say, what they do, what they cook for dinner, etc. It'll never really be expressed as true, profound love. And really, I would suggest that, in fact, this is just very, very basic. Very basic relationships. Again, romantic relationship or non-romantic relationship. It's very basic. Imagine a husband comes home from work, he worked hard, and he's hoping his wife cooked dinner. And she did. I don't mean to be chauvinist. I'm a man, so I'm just saying something. There's dinner here. He's hoping his wife cooked dinner, and she did. And it's delicious. Best dinner he ever had. And he says to his wife, I love you so much. You cooked such a good dinner. What does she say? Really? You love me because I cooked dinner? No, that's not what I meant. What did you mean? Or I love you because you're so beautiful. Really? That's why you love me? Because I'm beautiful? Like, that's it. That's so external. The way a person looks, it's not who they are. Okay, people are attracted to different people. I get that. And hey, who doesn't want a nice dinner? We could all go for a good dinner, right? But that's a reason for loving a person. You're basing love on these things. We don't necessarily do it consciously. We may do it subconsciously. But it's so insulting. It's so denigrating to tell someone you love them. No, I don't think most people would say it. They might just think it. I love you because you're beautiful. I love you because you cooked a good dinner. I love you because of this. I love you because of that. I love you because of... What about just I love you? Period. Not because of anything. Just because. That's much deeper. That's much more profound. But that takes work. That takes effort. So let's start chapter 32. And we'll take a look and see. We'll see what you guys think. Yeah.
And how do you differentiate between people if there's no factors that's differentiating?
That's a great question. Great question. Anyone want to address this question? How do you differentiate between people then? If there's no factors to differentiate, great question. In other words, why should I love my kid more than someone else's kid?
Yeah.
Okay, good question. Anyone want to address that?
Just, I love you, then like, where's the difference?
Okay, that's a good question. Anyone want to address that?
I don't get the question.
Like instead of saying I love you, if you could say I love you because you're my kid, right?
Yeah.
But then he just said you shouldn't love someone because of any reason. You should love everyone. I love everyone. Like his blatant statement at the end of that was you say like I love you because of any reason.
Obviously, he was meaning you shouldn't love people for shallow reasons. Why do you love your wife? It's because you like her personality, dog. It's not because like her dinner or anything like that. That's what he's trying to
Okay. So now I'm saying.
I think the dinner example really hit home. Really hit home.
I'm saying what's the difference between then her and anyone and any other person?
There should be a balance, like.
So I'm saying, like, what would be the difference? Like, if there's no differentiating factor, then there shouldn't be.
There is, because if you're just loving people, okay,
No, I know what he said.
What's so funny?
No.
I don't get it. You're like, I can do some stand-up if you want. I can tell jokes. You want to hear a joke? What do you want to hear?
What do you have to say? Let's hear it.
You love someone because they're them, not because of what they like, what they make or do, but because of like what they are. So he's not saying that you shouldn't love anyone because of
So you're
anything.
loving that person just because of what they are. Your statement at the end was
He didn't-
was just.
he
I
didn't
was just
see that there are
that's a
other
giving
different
of reason.
things.
Like if you could.
Guys, let's not
I
fight.
thought at the end you said like there's no.
Okay, one second. Let's take another scenario.
That's where
Let's take another scenario. I want to hear from everybody. Let's take another scenario. You're 10 years old. You come home from school and you did really well in your exam, and you're so happy to show your father, your mother, the test. Look! I got 100. I got 90. Whatever. Something to show them. And your father, your mother says, "Oh, that's so great. I love you because you did so well on your test."
I can't believe I did.
It's a stupid example, right?
I love you.
It's like, I love you, man.
You shouldn't,
It's a conditional.
love,
Conditional.
There
love
we go.
shouldn't be based on something. It should be you love the person, you see them as a soul rather than something physical that they could.
My question is, if it's not based on something, then how is the love differentiated
Not
on that?
based on.
No, I'm saying from what you were saying, if your love shouldn't be based on something, then how is it differentiated between that person and another person? If there's nothing to base it on.
I think that you should have like a base amount of love for
So there
everyone
is.
then.
But then what is the difference between like the love of your life and another person?
You love somebody more just because you spend more time with them, like it's your wife, like.
But then I'm not hearing a reason. You feel like I'm being shoved like. Yes, I understand that, but I understand that, but I'm saying based off of what we are saying, that's not a conclusion that you're coming to.
It's a hard question.
Wait, no.
Benny, what do you have to say? Lemon.
Why you're not gonna love her if she's not gonna make dinner.
Okay.
You love her because
Oh, like
she's
the-
your wife, just the person that
Because
she
who
is.
she is.
Her beauty's gonna change.
But
her food's
the
gonna
person
change.
she is that not like physical stuff, but
It's a, there's a difference.
Obviously, he needs.
More at the soul.
attributes like her personality.
You're gonna like your wife more than someone you just met on the street.
I 100% agree with that statement. I would like to put that out. I 100% agree with that. I'm even saying based off what we are saying, that's not something.
Physical, like.
No, I get your question. I get your question and I'm.
You're just having a hard time expressing.
I'm not.
What's your name again? Zahava, right. Okay, Zahava.
Trying to answer it in a way that's like making sense in my head, cause I get what you're trying to say, like.
Can I-
don't
Let
wanna
it
speak, so, like,
finish.
I don't know.
Do something that.
Okay,
Okay, Daniela would like to say something.
well, I think it's there's potential to love everyone in this world. We just have to find it. But like I have potential to love like I don't know. Like people who don't have emotions. Like I have potential to love them. Like that category of people. Or like people who love the groovy smoothie. Like I've just never really met anyone who loves the groovy smoothie. But theoretically I have. I know. It's a hypothetical category. Or like anyone, I don't know. I have like ex people, but I've never really met them. But the thing is, I have met my mom, my dad, and I spent a lot of time with them. And like because I do have emotions, like I've been able to feel happy when I'm around them, and like feel good when I spend time with people, and that's why I love them. So I love people because I have emotions. Do you?
I have emotions.
Oh, okay, good.
That was a great point, sorry.
I think
I think it's one of my
I think it might be too early to start then. Telling jokes, I get it.
I don't know.
Like different from the love that you have towards like your wife or your kids.
Or if you should love someone for any reason, then why do you love one person more than another person?
Yeah, that's basically the.
Okay, someone came back to the question.
That's been my question.
it's just a misunderstanding
You know
about
what?
what you meant by just saying I love you. To say both things.
My argument is based off of what has been said and not my personal opinion.
Oh, okay.
I also made that clear during like when everyone started getting loud because I realized I might have been miscommunicated there.
Maybe we should clarify that.
Okay.
Okay.
No, not you. I'm saying we should clarify what was said
Alright.
before. Maybe there's more to it.
Alright.
So it's a good question. It's a good question. I'm glad you asked it. Thank you. It's a good question. And I have two possible answers. One is that there is no difference. That's one answer. That the Torah tells me, Ahavta l're'acha kamoicha. Love every other person as yourself, like yourself. So on one level, we perhaps might suggest, I know this is a radical idea maybe, or maybe it's not radical, that indeed I should love someone else's child as much as mine. That may be one answer to your question, is that, yeah, there's no difference. I should love everybody exactly the same. That's what the Torah says, and that's just the straightforward meaning of that commandment to love another person, is everybody's equal. That's one possible answer.
Does love even have a meaning then?
What?
In that answer, does love even have a meaning? Is there a meaning to love if you have that same love towards everyone?
Fair question. What is love even?
Sorry.
But you had a question or a comment? Did we get a second?
I don't know.
Okay, so the second possible answer is that of course there's a difference in how I relate to other people. Someone mentioned, for example, well, you love your wife more than someone else. True, but why? Because I know her better? No, so I'll get to know someone else. It's a difference. So I know her. Okay, whatever. Thank God I've been married over 2 decades. I'm very blessed. A lot of light in my life, thank God. But I don't mean this in a weird way, but like it couldn't have been someone else. In theory, why not? But on another way, no, it couldn't be someone else. Why? Because it's a neshama thing. It actually needs to be this person because it's a neshama connection. And so too, the neshamas, the souls that I have been privileged to bring into the world. And they're also known as, yeah, guys, there's something called off or vibrate. There's something called that. The souls that, and I mean that, I'm saying the word soul, I'm not saying my children, I'm saying the souls that I and my wife have been privileged to bring into the world. With this, that's random? It's not random. There were certain souls up in the Garden of Eden, wherever they were up there in the spiritual worlds, and they came to my family, not to your family. If it's my kids, not your sibling, or not your future children. So this is all cosmic. There's nothing random here. So those neshamas that are, I don't want to say belong to me, but that are connected to me because they're connected to me. And it's not something that can be explained per se based on typical logic that we generally use in our day-to-day living. Sometimes, like, you try to make this, what should I do today, or what should I do, where should I go, whatever. You make a decision to go to such and such an event, or such and such a place, or hang out with such and such a friend, and someone, and then you oh my gosh, look at that, everything worked out, and the other vehicle was in a car crash, or whatever, God forbid. There's a lot going on that we can't see, can't touch, can't smell, we can't even explain. It just happens that way. Like, why is it that I met my wife and we decided to get married? I could talk about it. I could give you reasons, but like those reasons aren't really not real reasons. Like, she was nice. Cool. There's no other nice girls out there. Lots of nice girls, thank God. Every girl's nice. But there's a neshama connection. There's something happening on a deeper level. So that's, again, I give 2 possible answers. One answer is, yeah, that's all the same. You're right. And the other answer is the same. What do you mean? These purple people were drawn to me because we are connected, and I'm not necessarily going to be able to explain that to you in the English language. So and one second, and it could be that both are true. It could be, because we're talking about a soul which is infinite. So it could be that there's room for infinity here. It's room for infinite levels of connection and so forth. But I was interrupting you. I'm sorry, you had a question or comment?
So the second answer, though, it says that there is a because to the I love you statement, but the because is a soul because.
Yeah, it's not a reason. Like, normally, meaning, what does it mean to give something a reason? Here's an example. A reason is, I'm going to go to sleep now. Oh, why are you going to go to sleep? Because I'm tired. What does that have to do with sleeping? Well, you see, there's something according to science, and I'm not a scientist, but I know when you sleep, your body has the opportunity to refresh itself, kind of like recharging the battery, and I'm going to wake up the next morning, and or take a nap, I'm going to feel refreshed. That makes sense. But normally, if you would walk into a room and see someone lying prone, oh my God, they're dead. Why are you lying down doing nothing for? Your heartbeat is decreasing, your breath is decreasing. Why would you do that? Oh, there's a reason for it. Okay, usually reasons are logical and explain what we're doing. Why are you eating? What are you eating for? It's like a waste of time. You look kind of weird. No offense to anyone here. You look kind of weird. You stuff food in your mouth. What are you doing? It's so bizarre. You're eating animals. You're eating like things that grow from the ground. You're eating grass. What are you doing? Strange. Oh no, there's a good reason. What's the reason? The reason is because I need nutrients to live. And the nutrients are in the food. And when I eat them, my stomach does some stuff with it and transforms magically. The food gets out the nutrients, right? So there's a reason to it. Otherwise, why are you eating for? And especially sleep, right? You sleep 8 hours a day if you're lucky. 30% of 33% of the day. Does that do the math right?
Yeah.
A third of the day. What are you wasting a third of the? You know what you could accomplish if you worked or read or learned or went out and exercised or did something constructive for a third of the day instead of wasting it sleeping? That's ridiculous, obviously, what I just said. Totally ridiculous. So there's reasons that are logical, that make sense why we do almost everything. Certain things don't really have reasons in that way. And I would posit that there are soul connections happening, which, by the way, exist between everyone in this room right now. Think about it. How many people in the world? 8 billion, give or take a few 100,000? 8 billion people in the world. How many are in the room? Why is it that of the 8 billion people in the world, it's specifically us that are here right now and not the other 8? Okay, because you go to Queen's College. Okay, how come you chose to come to Queen's College? Each of you probably has a reason you chose to that you chose to come to Queen's College. Reason, is it really a reason? Maybe. Could be very good reasons for it. But then you signed up for Jewish U. Then you came here tonight. Then GPS for the soul. There are other Jewish U classes too. And you actually made it today. Maybe something could have happened. You weren't able to make it today. Whatever it may be. So the very fact even that we are all here now and that we know each other, we are forever connected to each other in a good way, obviously. We're forever connected to each other, not because of logic. Yeah, okay, Jewish U, Queen's College. Okay. Really? That's why we're connected? Because of Jewish U, because of Queen's College? I'm just telling you, I don't have facts. I can't prove any of this. It's just what I think. It's just what I feel. That there's a soul connection going on between everyone here and everyone in your orbit that's beyond something that can necessarily be explained. So too, if it comes to loving another person, yeah, the people that I love, they have for sure things that I love about them. And that's great. And that's part of the relationship, right? That's part of being a normal human being. You like something about the person, the way they speak, the way they talk, the way they whatever. But that's not really a reason for love. That's more like, oh, you give me something. I get something from you. Which is nothing wrong with that. But like, that's not love. That's just getting something from another person. Awkward pause. That's what my 15-year-old son would say. Awkward pause. I don't know if anything I said made sense, or if you have questions, comments, if you want to share something about this idea. I'm just suggesting there's something way beyond what we can see, what we can rationalize, what we can put into logical words and explain the connections that we have. Why were you born into the family you were born? I don't know, but there's a reason. What's the reason? Somehow this is fulfilling the cosmic purpose of creation. How does that work out exactly? I don't know. Go figure it out. Go explore. Go find out. Go find out what your connections are. Go find out the people you're connected to, why you're connected to them. Like sometimes people come to marriage therapy after years of marriage. How come we're arguing? I don't know. Like, let's go back to how come you got married in the first place. What pulled you together? What drew you together to that person? Like there's a soul connection. There's something very deep that brings people together. And again, romantic relationship and just regular friendships. There's something very deep that brings you together. So that's maybe a second answer, is that there is a difference. I just don't exactly know what it is. In the sense that I can't explain it in the way that I would normally explain, for example, to a child, how 2 + 2 = 4. How do I know that? Prove it to me. How do you know 2 + 2 = 4? I can explain it. It's not that complicated to explain.
Yeah, not complicated.
Right. But why were you born into the family you were born into? Ooh, tough one to explain. Yeah.
I actually had one of these moments.
Oh, great. Please share.
In Canada. It's actually crazy. So basically, we went to the elevator, and then my parents are speaking Farsi, and then Abi, and then suddenly this woman was from Iran, and she was like, "Oh my God, I'm from Iran," and they all ended up like talking, and like during this time, like I wasn't like appreciative of anything. Like it's like, oh, why is this not working out? Why is this not working out? And then this woman from Iran, I promise you, like, it was such a long talk that we like got off on her floor. And she was saying how like she fought so hard. She's like, they're treating us so bad in Iran, and like you should be so appreciative that you have an education and that you don't have to cover your hair and like all this stuff. And it was just like crazy because like at that moment where I was feeling like so unappreciative, like this woman was like, I would die to like be you. Like, you know what I mean? Like she was like saying like I would like the fact that you can have an education as a woman and like all these things and like it was like crazy.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to share us? Yeah,
I feel like everybody here like is here to teach you.
absolutely. Absolutely. And that's part of the amazing lesson that's within all of these relationships. Is that if I know you and you know me, it's I have something for you and you have something for me. Otherwise, why would the other eight? I don't know the other 8 billion. Why not? They don't have for me that what I need, apparently. Yeah, question or comment?
Well, a big reason why I'm going is because my bubby Z had a shift day and my Z just walked into the wrong one, and that was my bubby. So I guess it was an accident. My bubby and Z had 2 separate shift days planned, and my Z walked into the wrong restaurant. And that was my bubby. We can talk about it double check.
I think that's
Wait for it to
amazing.
happen. Wow. Good for them.
No.
We have to research and find about the other couple.
Yeah.
That's the most unbelievable thing.
That's so funny.
It's really cool for them.
Anyone else want to share anything?
Some time.
There's also no such thing as president.
Agreed.
Okay, so the point that we were trying to get to is that to really love another person, you have to strip away the layers. To strip away the layers of materiality, layers of physicality, and that in our own mind, stop making it about the steak and scotch dinner. I don't know why I keep saying steak and scotch, but whatever. I feel like those are always the advertisements in those Jewish magazines, like steak and scotch. Steak, I don't really like so much. Scotch, not so bad.
Next food.
Huh?
So that's the next food.
I guess so, exactly. Steak and scotch, yeah, without the scotch, except for me, because I'm over 21, so. But that's the idea, is that we have to strip apple, you can have some apple juice, yes. In fact, I had a tall glass of peppermint tea earlier today. And my wife said, "What are you drinking? Is that whiskey?" I was like, no.
She said, yeah.
But maybe it's a good idea. Maybe it's a good idea. Well, she would have believed me, so. But in any event, that's the idea. That's the idea that just like we saw from the hostages were released, what's left? What happens when you strip away the layers? So we don't, God forbid, have to wait for something like drastic to happen to us. We could start now. We could start now stripping away the layers of our own life and really asking ourselves, who am I? What am I really about? What is life about? What do I actually want out of life? Not what kind of car do I want? Like, yeah, that's nice, but what do I really want out of life? And then transfer that perspective to other people too. And if I can do that, I'll be so much less judgmental. I'll be so much less assuming of other people and the way they are, what they meant, and so on and so forth. That I'll be able, and you could try it. You could try and see if it's true. I'll be able to connect to people in a deeper, more profound way. And you can try it. Yeah.
Doesn't everybody just like want to be happy at the end of the day?
I think the whole world is trying to figure out how to be happy. Sort of seems to me. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But I think the whole world is trying to figure out how to be happy. Yes.
Maybe the whole world is, I don't know if everyone's trying to be happy, because there are some people who, for whatever reason, don't pursue happiness. I do think that everyone in this world is like trying to live their best life. And for some people, they think that's not, like, happiness doesn't correlate to that.
Okay, fair enough.
Interesting.
Anyone else want to share anything or ask anything?
CEO.
Zara, you looked like you were about to say something, no? You were like,
just clearing my throat.
no, before the clearance that you were. Anyone else? Closing comments, questions? Okay, so yeah, what?
My mom got her degree in Iran.
That'll be the next one. Women in Iran. Okay, so I guess that's the wrap up. We didn't read too much inside, but the wrap up is that maybe each of us could challenge ourselves to strip away some of the layers of our own life and then try to transfer that to other people too, to try to be a little bit more forgiving, to try to be a little bit less judgmental, to try to be a little bit more open to other people and to try to, it sounds all spiritual and stuff, but to try to really look at another person as a soul, as a neshama, at less as a body that looks in a certain way and acts in a certain way and has a certain type of voice, but really to try to look at other people, start looking at ourselves that way, as a soul, and transfer it to other people. And I think that this will give us a real boost in our personal lives, in our relationships, and just the way we feel about ourselves, the way we feel about life, the way we feel when we wake up in the morning, and the way we feel just in everything that we do. So that's it. Thank you everyone for coming. Next week, GPS for the Soul Part 4. We'll continue the conversation. Thank you everyone for coming.
Thank you.